Hi, welcome to our weekly poetry reading. I'm Mary, the manager at the Claremont Branch Library, and because today is Memorial Day, I wanted to read poems that would commemorate those soldiers who had given the ultimate sacrifice. And before I begin, I wanted to give just a brief history of Memorial Day, which I grabbed from the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, and the history of Memorial Day. So 3 years after the Civil War ended, on May 5, 1868, the head of an organization of Union veterans established Decoration Day as a time for the nation to decorate the graves of the war dead with flowers. By the end of the 19th century, Memorial Day ceremonies were being held on May 30th throughout the nation. After World War I, the day was expanded to honor those who have died in all American wars. In 1971, Memorial Day was declared a national holiday by an act of Congress, though it is still often called Decoration Day in some parts of the country. It was then placed on the last Monday in May. So the first poem that I was going to start with is called Decoration Day, so hearkening back to the original name of this holiday. And it's called Decoration Day by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Sleep, comrades, sleep and rest, on this field of grounded arms, where foes no more molest, nor sentries' shots alarm. Ye have slept on the ground before, and started to your feet, at the cannon's sudden roar, or the drum's redoubling beat. But in this camp of death, no sound your slumber breaks. Here is no fevered breath, no wound that bleeds and aches. All is repose and peace, untrampled lies the sod. The shouts of battle cease, it is the truce of God. Rest, comrades, rest and sleep, the thoughts of men shall be as sentinels to keep your rest from danger free. Your silent tents of green we deck with fragrant flowers. Yours the suffering has been, the memory shall be ours. The next poem is by Sir Walter Scott, and it's called Soldier Rest. Soldier, rest, thy warfare o'er, sleep the sleep that knows not breaking. Dream of battled fields no more, days of danger, nights of waking. In our isle's enchanted hall, hands unseen thy couch are strewing. Fairy strains of music fall, every sense in slumber doing. Soldier, rest, thy warfare o'er, dream of fighting fields no more. Sleep the sleep that knows not breaking, morn of toil, nor night of waking. No rude sounds shall reach thine ear, armor's clang, or war steed champing. Trump nor pibroch summon here, mustering clan or squadron tramping. Yet the lark's shrill fife may come at the daybreak from the fallow, and the bitter sound his drum, booming from the sedgy shallow. Ruder sounds shall none be near, guards nor warders challenge here. Here's no war steeds neighing and champing, shouting clans or squadrons stamping. And then I have a few poems that are just called Memorial Day that were written about this day. So this one is by Amos Russell Wells, and it is simply called Memorial Day. The day of memories, remembering what? The cannon's roar, the hissing of the shot? The weary hospital, the prison pen? The widow's tears, the groans of stalwart men? The bitterness of fratricidal strife? The pangs of death, the sharper pangs of life? Nay, let us quite forget the whole of these upon our sacred day of memories. The day of memories, remembering what? The honored dust in every hallowed spot, the honored names of all our heroes dead, the glorious lands for which they fought and bled, our nation's hopes, the kindly common good, the universal bond of brotherhood. These we remember gladly, all of these, upon our sacred day of memories. This next poem is Memorial Day by Frederick W. Emerson. Our nation is reverently thinking today of the loved ones sleeping beneath the cold clay, of the sacrifice made and the brave deeds done to preserve our Union as a glorious one. We ne'er will be able to pay the great cost of the noble, the true, and the brave that we've lost. But over their graves, with tears like dew, we'll lay our sweet flowers of red, white, and blue. Our nation is paying tribute today upon the green mounds where its loyal men lay, while statesman and orator fondly repeat the story of those who knew no defeat. They tell of the Union united again by the triumph of those who died not in vain, of the 44 states all loyal and free, of the peace and the freedom from sea to sea. These next few poems are about war and the soldiers and the sacrifices they made, starting with To My Brother by Vernon Britton. Your battle wounds are scars upon my heart, received when in that grand and tragic show you played your part 2 years ago. And silver in the summer morning sun, I see the symbol of your courage glow, that cross you won 2 years ago. Though now again you watch the shrapnel fly, and hear the guns that daily louder grow, as in July 2 years ago. May you endure to lead the last advance, and with your men pursue the fleeing foe, as once in France 2 years ago. And this one is by John Drinkwater. For thee they died. For thee their pilgrim swords were tried. Thy flaming word was in their scripts. They battled, they endured, they died, to make a new apocalypse. Master and Maker, God of right, the soldier dead are at thy gate, who kept the spears of honor bright, and freedom's house inviolate. This one is by John Greenleaf Whittier, and it's called The Watchers. Beside a stricken field I stood, on the torn turf, on grass and wood, hung heavily the dew of blood. Still in their fresh mounds lay the slain, but all the air was quick with pain, and the gusty sighs and tearful rain. 2 angels, each with drooping head, and folded wings, and noiseless treads, watched by that valley of the dead. The one with forehead saintly bland, and the lips of blessing, not command, leaned, weeping, on her olive wand. The other's brows were scarred and knit, his restless eyes were watchfires lit, his hands for battle gauntlets fit. How long? I knew the voice of peace. Is there no respite, no release? When shall the hopeless quarrel cease? O Lord, how long? One human soul is more than any parchment scroll, or any flag thy winds unroll. What price was Elworth's young and brave? How weigh the gift that lion gave, or count the cost of Winthrop's grave? O brother, if thine eye can see, tell how and when the end shall be, what hope remains for thee and me. Then freedom sternly said, I shun no strife nor pang beneath the sun, when human rights are staked and won. I knelt with Ziska's hunted flock, I watched into Saint's cell of rock, I watched with Sydney to the block. The Moor of Marston felt my tread, through Jersey snows the march I led, my voice Magenta's charges sped. But now through weary day and night, I watched a vague and aimless fight, for leave to strike one blow aright. On either side my foe thine own, one guards through love his ghastly throne, and one through fear to reverence grown. Why wait we longer, mocked and betrayed, by open foes or those afraid, to speed thy coming through my aid? Why watch to see who win or fall? I shake the dust against them all, I leave them to their senseless brawl. Nay, peace implored, yet longer wait, the doom is near, the stake is great, God knoweth if it be too late. Still wait and watch, the way prepare, where I with folded wings of prayer may follow, weaponless and bare. Too late, the stern sad voice replied, Too late, its mournful echo sighed. In low lament the answer died. A rustling as of wings in flight, an upward gleam of lessening white. So passed the vision, sound, and sight. But round me, like a silver bell, rung down the listening sky to tell of holy help, and sweet voice fell. Still hope and trust, it sang. The rod must fall, the winepress must be trod, but all is possible with God. The next few poems deal with the unknown soldier who has passed away during a war. And first one is by Henry Kemp, and it's called The Unknown. Here, under sacred ground, the unknown lies. Dumb be the earth around, and dumb the skies. Before his laureled fame, yea, let sublime silence conduct his name. Unspelled till time, bowed with eternity, goes back to God, abandoning earth to be, at life's last exquy, man's final clod. Here, under sacred ground, the unknown lies. Dim armies gather round his sacrifice. Kings, princes, presidents attest his worth. The generals bow before his starry earth. In the world's heart inscribed, his love, his fame, he leads the captains with his unknown name. The next poem is by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and it's called A Nameless Grave. A soldier of the Union mustered out is the inscription on an unknown grave. And Newport News beside the salt sea wave, nameless and dateless, sentinel or scout, shot down in skirmish or disastrous rout of battle, when the loud artillery drave its iron wedges through the ranks of brave, and doomed battalions storming the redoubt. Thou unknown hero, sleeping by the sea, in thy forgotten grave, with secret shame I feel my pulses beat, my forehead burn, when I remember thou hast given me all that thou hadst, thy life, thy very name, and I can give thee nothing in return. This poem is by Elizabeth Robbins Berry, called The Unknown Dead. Above their rest there is no sound of weeping, only the voice of songbirds thrills the air. Unknown their graves, yet they are in God's keeping. There are none missing from his tender care. He knows each hallowed mound, and at his pleasure marshals the sentinels of earth and sky. O'er their repose kind nature heaps her treasure, farmed by soft winds which round them gently sigh. Bravely they laid their all upon the altar, counting as naught the sacrifice and pain. Theirs but to do and die without a falter, ours to enjoy the victory, the gain. They are not lost, that only which was mortal lies 'neath the turf or arched by southern skies. Deathless they wait beyond the heavenly portal, in that fair land where valor never dies. In the great heart of coming generations, their fame shall live, their glory never cease, even when comes to all earth's troubled nations God's perfect gift of universal peace. And the last few poems I have deal a bit more generally with Memorial Day again and honoring those who have given their lives. This one is called Garlands by Amos Russell Wells. What are the garlands we lay on the graves? Heapings of blossoms that loveliest are, beauty supreme for the bravest of braves? Yes, and an offering holier far. Here are the garlands of memories clear, thoughts of the partings of the desperate frays, marches and prisons and hospitals drear, triumphs and woes of those terrible days. Garlands of gratitude, fadeless and fair, lie on the graves of our glorious dead. Grateful for freedom that breathes in the air, grateful for union that floats overhead. Garlands of love from the children and wives, garlands of hope for the nation today. Garlands of offered and consecrated lives, these on the graves of our heroes we lay. Roses and lilies and violets blue, daffodils, tulips, and all of the rest. Ah, dear departed, brave patriots true, we know what garlands will please you the best. And this is called A Monument for Soldiers by James Whitcomb Riley. A monument for the soldiers, and what will ye build it of? Can you build it of marble or brass or bronze, outlasting the soldiers' love? Can you glorify it with legends as grand as their blood hath writ, for the inmost shrine of this land of thine, to the outermost verge of it? And the answer came. We would build it out of our hopes made sure, out of our purest prayers and tears, and out of our faith secure. We would build it out of the great white truths their death hath sanctified, and the sculptured forms of men in arms, and their faces ere they died. And what heroic figures can the sculptor carve in stone? Can the marble breast be made to bleed? Can the marble lips to moan? Can the marble brow be fevered, and the marbled eyes be graved, to look their last, as the flag floats past, on the country they have saved? And the answer came. The figures shall all be fair and brave, and as befitting as pure and white, as the stars above their grave, the marble lips and the breast and brow, whereon the laurel lies, bequeath us right to guard the flight of the old flag in the skies. A monument for the soldiers, built of a people's love, and blazoned and decked and panoplied with the hearts ye build of it. And see that ye build it stately, in a pillar and a niche and a gate, and high in pose as the souls of those it would commemorate. And the poem I'm going to end with is by Annette Wynne, and it's simply called Memorial Day. Is it enough to think today of all our brave, then put away the thought until a year has sped? Is this full honor for our dead? Is it enough to sing a song and deck a grave, and all year long forget the brave who died, that we might keep our great land proud and free? Full service needs a greater toll, and that we who live give heart and soul, to keep the land they died to save, and be ours in turn, the brave. So thank you for joining me today for Memorial Day and poems honoring those who gave their lives. So take some time today to just remember those who did give their lives, and come back here next week, next Monday at 11, where I will be reading poems from 6 of the major poets from the Romantic period. I will be reading from Blake, Shelley, Wordsworth, Coleridge, Bryan, and Keats. So until then, I hope that you have a good week, and I will look forward to sharing more poetry with you in a week. Bye!